Scott, you said you're building something as of right. I mean, this seems like there's really nothing as of right anymore. It's like you could just go in and say, I followed everything in the book, you know, give me my building permit. But where are we with this, with educating people to understand?
I think you hit it on the head. Nothing's as of right. And most of the zoning codes were drafted in a way where they were project specific or, you know, however they were drafted. But it's very rare that you find an opportunity that's zoned, in fact, for what you want to do as a developer.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are a lot of adaptive reuses that make sense. Although I would tell you from a construction standpoint, oftentimes they're very expensive. So it has to make financial sense. And when you're looking at retail, which is a valuable use, sometimes it's difficult. But we'll have to see where it all goes, right? I mean, we don't know how bad retail is going to get. We don't know, you know, what's going to happen. When the numbers start to make sense, I think you'll see a lot more of that actually move forward. You know, it's kind of the same circular conversation with regard to how do we create different zoning codes that incentivize use and don't require rezonings for every project and those sorts of things. And it's very difficult to facilitate when you have many hundreds of municipalities who, you know, clench on to their home rule.
Yeah.
It's just a tough process.
Right. So David, so historically, whenever there was a dark, big box, it would be always on top of the list for clients who were looking for call centers, simply because it was wide open and you had a plethora of parking, which traditional office buildings would not allow for that amount of parking. But, you know, to Scott's point, you know, how do you get these projects approved? It goes to the political will and the community support. And once again, as we spoke earlier in the seminar, mixed use, right? Mixed use sounds like it's a little bit of something for everybody. It's the darling of the conversation. Most communities are in support of it. And now it comes down to economics. What's the basis of the price of that site? What are the costs associated with getting it into the entitlement? It goes back to, is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? Is it 7 years? The carry will kill you. And then you'll start a project in one market in the cycle of the economics and end in another. And hopefully you end on the positive way. Otherwise, the project is shuttered or flipped or sold or something else.
Yeah.